We are here for one day in Bratislava, which is the capital city of Slovakia. It's a really cute small town and has the most adorable old town, as well as a really rich history. It was at one time joined with the Czech Republic to form Czechoslovakia. Bratislava is also the only capital city in the entire world that shares its borders with two different countries, Hungary and Austria. The city's pretty small and quaint, so we're really excited to spend the next day exploring everything that there is here in Bratislava. So if you want to see that, make sure you keep watching and subscribe. So here we are in Bratislava. We just got off the train. It wasn't an hour. Person was being silly about it. It was actually like 2.5 hours. So that's okay. We're here in Bratislava, country number 36 for me, which is crazy. Country number 13 of the trip. We're gonna have a chill day today because we're exhausted, and we have all day tomorrow to explore. So we're walking from the train station to our hotel. We passed by this vending machine, and at first we were like, what is this? It's cheese and milk and yogurt in this vending machine. Unless those are noodles, like I still can't really tell. But I think it's cheese. I don't know. I like it though. I'm pro cheese, but not pro dairy industry.
Dairy vending machine.
So we've got our first meal here in Slovakia, and all over the place they're advertising this garlic soup in a bread bowl. So apparently it's like iconic here, and I'm so excited because I can finally eat the iconic dishes. So I got it, and it is so cute. Look at this. Garlic soup with a little pot, and then homemade butter for the bread and cheese for the soup.
And I got the pork schnitzel, which seems just as iconic as hers, and it's fucking huge, like gigantic. Looks really good.
So you might know the two countries of Czech and Slovakia as Czechoslovakia, which is what they were formerly known as prior to 1992. Both countries were part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and then following the end of World War II and the fall of the empire, the land that was once belonging to it was separated into different countries. The Czechs and the Slovaks were grouped together to form Czechoslovakia because they were closely related in language, religion, and culture. And for a while, they were the most prosperous and politically stable country in Eastern Europe. That was until World War II, when they were invaded by Nazi Germany and then liberated by the Soviets. Czechoslovakia operated under communism from 1945 until the fall of the Soviet Union in 1990. The end of the Soviet Union marked the end of communism in Czechoslovakia, and once they began operating under a multi-party democracy, the cultural and political differences between the two countries really came to a head. Particularly, those in the Czech Republic wanted to mass privatize everything following communism, and the Slovaks resisted this. Both countries recognized this, and in 1992 they had a peaceful separation and became the Czech Republic and Slovakia. So this is the presidential palace, and it is still currently the permanent home of the Slovak president. So you can't go inside. It's got this really beautiful courtyard, and the fountain with the building in the back is a really iconic picture from Bratislava. So you can't go inside, but you can see the front, and then you can go around back to the garden, which is where we're gonna head off now. So now we're headed up to the Slaven Memorial. To get there, we have to walk up a hill. So there's a really beautiful view of the city. And the houses here are so like whimsical. That one you can see behind me with the big tower there. It's so fun.
That's what I want in my house. And then that's gonna be my little study, my lair in the top, just for me.
And I would decorate it for Halloween. That's the magic layer. So this is the Slaven Memorial behind me. This is the entirety of the grounds. It is commemorating the 1945 liberation of Bratislava by the Soviets from the German forces during the Second World War. If you saw our Budapest vlog, we talked a little bit about the significance of this area and the significance that the Soviet forces played in liberating almost the entirety of Eastern Europe during the war. On the memorial, it has the date that cities were liberated, as well as the names of the Red Army officers and soldiers that died during the war. And on the rest of the grounds here, they have 6 mass graves. You can see here, and then 2 over there that are dedicated to the 6,800 Soviet soldiers who are buried here. You get a beautiful view of this city, like I said, as we were climbing up. Kristen and I were both saying that I think the role that the Soviets played during World War II gets completely overshadowed by what communism became in these parts. So it's important to remember the significance that they had in liberating these cities and fighting alongside the Allies at the time.
It's interesting to be in this region and see all these things commemorating the heroic acts of the Soviets saving everyone from the Nazis in World War II, because you know, you typically only get anti-Soviet stuff, which is understandable with what happened. But it's interesting to come to these regions to see them celebrating them for that past, when that's typically not something you hear about.
Crane's really getting in my shot there. You'd get a nice view of the castle. There's a massive crane right there. So we are at the Bratislava castle now, which is up on the hill. We saw it last night when we got in, all lit up. It's very, very beautiful. I know that the castle is now a museum of some sort, but you can walk around almost the entirety of the grounds for free. This is not the original castle though. The original castle was actually a fortress and it burned down in the early 19th century. So this building behind me is actually a copy of it. Like I said, this castle is on the top of a hill and you can see Hungary from up here. The castle grounds are absolutely beautiful and you can walk around completely for free. I'm pretty sure the building now is a museum. We're not gonna go inside. I'm actually not sure if it's even open. But we're currently sitting in the gardens and it is gorgeous. It's a little cold. I have a sweater that I got in Budapest. It's my only warm outfit and I've been wearing it for like 5 days. So I thought I'd switch it up today and put on the thermal long sleeves that I got at Uniqlo in Surabaya, Indonesia. And I don't have a jacket. It's quite cold. And we really need gloves. It is the end of April, so I thought it was gonna be warmer, especially because it was so hot in Bulgaria. But we clearly were a bit optimistic about the temperatures.
Yep, I'm wearing my long sleeve, then my long sleeve sweater, then my jacket. I'm still pretty cold. I wish I had gloves really badly, to be honest. Just like little gloves. It's cold around here.
So these narrow stone walls are the walls to the old town. They circumference basically the main part of Bratislava. You can walk all along the top of them. And we're coming up here to the St. Michael's Cathedral, which is right here. You can see the walls right behind me, and then outside the walls. Bratislava has tiny statues like they had in Budapest. This one's name is Kumo. He's popping up out of a pothole and just kind of lounging on the road. There's a bunch of different explanations for who he is and why he's there and what the statue is of. My favorite is that he is representative of the typical communist worker. It's not a political statement, it's just a funny thing. He's just lounging. There he is, he's cute. What do you think, Jason?
I think it's fun. It's a cute little statue. And clearly, like, there's lots of them, but this one's the most famous because it's just well done. It's fun.
We were saying, what an easy addition to cities in terms of like generating tourism, because Budapest had little tiny little ones that you go around like hunting for, like a scavenger hunt. And these ones are super popular. We're saying like in Calgary, it'd be so fun to just scatter these through downtown and relatively cheap. And it adds a really nice culture and fun to Calgary, but we all know Calgary doesn't like fun.
Now that I can get behind, I agree.
We got into Bratislava on the train last night and we did a little walk around and we saw most of Old Town just without vlogging, just wandering around. And then today we've walked around like twice. So we've seen the entire city like 3 times, the entire like tourist section of the city like 3 times. The city's relatively small, it only has 450,000 people in it. It's not even the biggest city in Slovakia. Almost all of the itineraries said 1 day in Bratislava, or lots of people do a day trip from Vienna because it's about an hour away on the train. So it's not a huge undertaking like Budapest is, but it's still a really beautiful, cute little city.
We are here in the Old Town Square in Bratislava, and this is the Old Town Hall right here. And then there's also the cool fountain, and we're gonna see the handsome man statue. And all of the buildings around here are so nice. They have that nice old European charm. And all the buildings around here in Eastern Europe have like this nice pastel, colorful look about it, which I really like. And I like the fun roof tile colors, which you see a lot too.
So this next of the tiny statues apparently represents one of the town citizens that lost his mind because of an unrequited love. So this fountain in the middle of Old Town Square is called Maximilian's Fountain. On top there's a knight in full battle uniform. Some people think it's Maximilian, some people think it's Roland, who is this mythical defender of Pressburg, which is the city. And the legend has it that on New Year's Eve at the stroke of midnight, he wakes up and turns to Old Town Hall, which is right behind me, and bows 12 times in honor of the 12 counselors that died protecting the city. This fountain was also the water source for the citizens of Pressburg. That tower right there and the gate at the bottom, more importantly, is called Michael's Gate, and this is St. Michael's Tower. It is a 14th century tower, and the gate was one of 4 gates used to enter the city of Bratislava. It used to be completely surrounded by walls, like you saw earlier today, and this is the only gate that still stands. Not only is it the only gate that still stands, this one specifically is very important in the coronation process. The King of Hungary had his coronation here in Bratislava, and this is the gate that all of the kings had to pass through on their way to take their oath. So it's nighttime now, we're back out in the squares. I wanted to show you everything lit up. Like I said, we went out last night and saw everything at night. These streets are so fun. I was saying it feels very medieval when you're walking through these twisty cobblestone streets at nighttime. So we're in front of the opera house that you saw earlier today in the light, and it's just gorgeous. The GoPro doesn't pick up nighttime footage very well, so I'll get some clips from my phone, but it's just so beautiful, all lit up. This whole area is so gorgeous. I'm so impressed with Bratislava's Old Town. It might be one of my favorite ones that we've been to. I think Prague is still my favorite of all the old towns, but this one's definitely up there.